Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know why I'm like in such a good mood. I'm just excited for this video. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to be doing my updated everyday makeup routine. I did do one last year, and obviously 1 year has changed a lot. Not too much, but I definitely have like newer products and different techniques. This is not going to be your everyday 10-minute makeup. I can make a video like that if you guys are interested. This is like my go-to look for my everyday put together glam. Like, we are going to be using some good products, but it's just my go-to for every single day. Never fails me, lasts all day. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I hope that you also like the look. If you guys do enjoy this video though, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Okay, so first I'm going to put on some lip plumper. I love putting on lip plumper at the beginning of my makeup so that by the end my lips are nice and full. My go-to is the Gerard Cosmetics Grande Lips. Yeah, I'm very excited to show you guys this look because you guys will see a lot of my go-to products, and I do get a lot of questions on my Instagram and things like that about my makeup. So this is it. This is how I do my makeup. So when it comes to primer, I don't really prime that much. I don't have like larger pores, a lot of texture. I'm not oily. By the way, I am normal to dry skin if you guys are new here. So my go-to primer has just been my Ride or Die. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. This is really just skincare. It's like glowy niacinamide serum, and it just looks beautiful on the skin and under makeup. I just love the way my makeup sits on this, so I just like to apply this. I already have skincare on, moisturizer, as well as sunscreen, and this just adds that glow and that hydration, and my skin just loves it, and everything that goes on top just loves it as well. So that is just what I'll do with primer. What about these muscles though? Moving on to foundation. Now this is a newer one for me, but man, is it my go-to. So let me just say really quickly, if I'm doing more of a full coverage, going out kind of look, my go-to is the Rare Beauty foundation. But for an everyday, a little bit of a lighter weight foundation, this is my baby. It's disgustingly dirty because I haven't stopped using it. This is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation with hyaluronic acid, turmeric, and ashwagandha. So I use this shade TG5 to match the fake tan. I love this foundation. It's more of a liquid foundation. It's gonna give medium coverage, and it just wears so beautifully. So my favorite way to wear this is actually just one pump. I feel like it just looks better without so much of it. So I just do one pump, and I actually like to apply it first with my fingers to make that one pump really last. So I kind of just do this. Obviously my hands are clean, and I'll just kind of put it everywhere, and now we just blend. So right now it is a little bit lighter than my fake tan. I know it looks crazy, but it all comes together at the end. My fingers don't soak up any product, so it's gonna make the product last more, so that way we don't need as much of it, and therefore it just does not look cakey, and it's just not heavy. So once I do have that, I will grab a brush, and I'll just pack in the rest, and this will get out any like streaks that I did with my fingers or anything like that. It lasts all day. It looks beautiful even at the end of the day, and everything else just looks good on top. And I will say, LYS is a brand at Sephora, but it's actually not as like pricey as other brands at Sephora, and so I think you do get a lot of product and you bang it for your buck. So the next thing that I like to do is actually cream bronzing. I love cream bronzing because I love bronzer, but I don't love a bunch of heavy powder. So I like to work with creams to get that pigment there so that I don't have to use as much powder to get that bronzy look. So again, we're gonna go back to LYS Beauty. This has just been my go-to. So this is what it looks like. So this is the LYS, I believe it's just a cream bronzer stick. I have the shade No Limits Harmony. You literally need the smallest amount because it's so pigmented. So I just like to put it above the cheek, a little bit on the temple, and a little bit on the forehead. Obviously, depends on how your face shape is, where you need to put this, but this is just like my go-to. So I'll be using the Alter Ego brush in the number 3, and I just like to pat at first and then I'll start buffing in a little bit. And the reason why I like to do my bronzer first is because I like to look snatched, and so with the concealer we're gonna clean it up right here and kind of elongate the face. So for concealer, my favorite concealer is actually the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer. I do have that, but it's way too light for me right now, so that's my holy grail. Right now, because of my tan, I have been using the Benefit Boing Concealer. This is also a good one, but my holy grail is a Too Faced, if you were wondering. But today we're going to be using the Benefit Boing Concealer in the shade number 7. And so I'm just going to conceal right here, hit those dark circles. I also use concealer as eye primer. It's always worked for me, so I'm just going to do that. And like I mentioned, I like to snatch my face a little bit, so I'll just grab some concealer, put it right here, and then bring it up. And that'll just create a little illusion of just a little facelift, just a little nip and tuck. My tip with concealer is to do light taps if you want more coverage. So I'm just gonna blend out all of the concealer, and then when I do get to this part, I'll just blend it like upwards like this, and see how it's cleaning up that bronzer. So now I'm just going to blend out the blemish, and then whatever's extra I kind of just do around my nose, because usually I have redness around my nose. So now, as you can see, we're concealed, we're highlighted, we're snatched, and now we're going to set it before it creases. So my go-to powder, for a while there I was using the Kosas powder, the Cloud Sit, but I have to say, when I know I'm going to have a long day and I just need the most flawless long wearing powder, I have to give it to Huda Beauty. This is the Easy Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder in the shade Pound Cake. It's just really, really nice. The biggest game changer for me since my last, okay, look at my hair. Does it not look like I have freaking tentacles? Okay, 1 second. Okay, now we're looking at Taylor Lautner again. My biggest game changer since my last everyday makeup routine video is the power of the puff. The power of the powder puff. This is it, guys. Like, powder will never look as good without a puff. If it's loose powder, I'll grab some and then I'll tap it on the back of my hand just to kind of even it out a little bit. Look up and pat away and you will look flawless. I'm gonna go ahead and set everywhere that I put concealer, and I'm also going to set my foundation very loosely. So I'm just kind of grabbing whatever is left, and we're just going to set this just for longevity and for porelessness. See how the color of my face is starting to morph into my neck? See? It's working. Next, we're gonna do bronzer. So my all-time favorite bronzer has been the Benefit Hula Caramel, but I just started getting into this Dior one, but you don't need the Dior one. I'm gonna use both just so that you can see what they both have to offer. This is just the most beautiful bronzer shade for more like olivey bronzer wearers. So I really like to use the BK Beauty 107. It's like a pinched brush. Remember, we already have that cream bronzer, so we don't really need to add that much. I do like to go ahead and set cream bronzer with a powder just for more drama, but also so that it literally lasts all day long. So this is actually, I believe it's like a setting powder from Dior. So this is called the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder, but I have it in the shade 6N Neutral, and I believe it's called Deep, and obviously it's very dark, and it's so nice. This is like what it looks like. See how it's like a nice satin finish? It adds like life to your skin, and it's called no powder for a reason, because you can literally go in there as much as you want, and like it will always look like good, not powdery. And see how it's adding just a little bit of life back into my skin? I have to tell you guys something. I don't really use highlight anymore. I don't really put it on my face anymore. I achieve a glow in a different way, and you guys will see that, but this little bronzer is definitely starting to bring a little bit of glow, a little bit of life back into my skin. So obviously this is luxury makeup. You don't need it, but if you're looking at it, I really like it. Now that bronzer is done, I can successfully move on to my eyebrows. As you guys can see, I like to kind of bronze a lot up here, which is why I haven't done my eyebrows yet. But now I can. Okay, holy grail brow product right here. And it has the goofiest name. It's the NYX Thick It, Stick It, Thickening Brow Mascara. So I like to use the shade Brunette. It's just a brow mascara, but it's tinted and it has fibers. I like to use the tip at the end of the brows first because that's where I have the least amount of hair. This and a brow pen is all I use, and let me tell you guys, I used to hate doing my brows. Like, you know how we all have our least favorite part of our makeup routine? It used to be my brows for me because it used to just take me forever. But man, when I discovered tinted brow gel, it changed the game for me. I do love a lot of different tinted brow gels, but this is definitely my favorite. I like to let things dry before going in with a different product, so we're gonna let this brow mascara dry while we do the rest of our face, and we will come back to the brows to finish them. By the way, I still hate this brow. I still hate it. It's the worst. So I don't do eyeshadow like every day at all, but I do have to have something, and that is bronzer. So I'm just gonna put some bronzer. This is one of my favorite brushes. It's a Morphe M576. It's just like a really fluffy brush. So I'm just gonna grab my bronzer, and all I'm gonna do is put it on my crease, and I like to kind of wing it out just a little bit, again, just for that little nip and tuck, you know, doesn't hurt. And it's free. I like to keep the bronzer mainly focused out here to kind of keep my inner corners a little bit bright. I'm just gonna grab a little pinch brush. This is BK Beauty 203, and I'm just gonna add it to my eyes. Let me tell you guys something about adding shadow or bronzer to the lower lash line. Number one, it'll make your eyes look bigger. But my favorite thing about it is that it literally covers your under eye creases. We all have them, and you know, it is what it is, and the concealer will crease in a crease. A crease creases. If you add a little bit of shadow, a little bit of bronzer right here, you can just cover it. And then you don't have to worry about it. You just pretend it's not there. So I cannot find another eyeliner that stays on my top waterline that doesn't transfer to the bottom waterline. Let me know if you guys know of any of them, but this is the only one that I've found. This is literally $3. It's the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Retractable Gel eyeliner. It's really nice. I will say, you do have to kind of warm it up, but once it's warmed up, it's pretty good. This will just create a little bit more drama. It will make our lashes look a little bit thicker. It's just such a good way to make it look like you have more lashes, I guess. Let me tell you something. Eyelash curlers are not created equal. I'm sorry. They have no equality. There's so many bad ones. I mean, if you've watched me for years, this is my tried and true. Can we focus? This is important. This is my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler. This is $20. If you think about it, paying more money for a tool makes sense because the tool, you're not gonna run out of the tool. You're just gonna keep on using it. And this is just so good. Like, I've tried so many different eyelash curlers that I thought was like helping me out, but they really weren't. And then when I tried this one, I just can't go back. Like always, remember, I do use an eyelash serum, so my lashes are, they're pretty long. I'm pretty proud of them. So now that they're curled, we're gonna go in with 2 mascaras. Again, just go in with your favorite mascara. Wait, I forgot. We cannot go into mascara yet because first we need to add our first blush. We are gonna use a lot of blush today. It's just what I do. Whatever you want, but we're starting out with our first blush. The reason why I need to do this before I put on mascara is because I need this to dry before I put the next blush. So this is one of my favorites. It's a Benefit PLAYTINT. All of the shades of the Benetints are amazing. They last such a long time. As you can see, I already have powder, and yet this is still gonna look really good. I'm gonna grab that same brush from the cream bronzer, and I'm just gonna add the tiniest amount. And I'm going to first press it on the cheeks. Really, that's all I'm gonna do is press. This blush, it lasts such a long time, so I love using it as like a base for my next blush. You literally add so much blush and then it fades, right? Well, this blush technique will not fade. Guys, I will wear my makeup from like 9 in the morning to 9 at night, and my blush stays put. I do like to put it on the tip of my nose. I like looking embarrassed. Okay, so now we'll let that dry while we do the mascara. So for the first mascara, I'm just like a twofer. I have to have 2 mascaras. That's just who I am. I will never change. I've been loving this. This is the Milani Anti-Gravity Mascara. The only thing I don't love is that it has like a little ball in there, and I feel like a little baby with like one of those toys that like, do you guys hear this? We're gonna do just 1 coat of this. My biggest tip for like the most volume is to always coat the back and then go back and finish it off. I only do this with the first coat because you don't want it to get too like spidery. Well, my lashes will be a little spidery. That's just how I like them though. So I really like this mascara. It adds a lot of length, separation, and pretty good volume, but I will go in with a different mascara just to add more volume. But do you guys see how good my lashes look? That eyelash curler is so nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do 1 coat. Okay, so now that I have 1 coat, I know most of you guys would stop here, but I can't. I just have to have 2 coats. My other favorite mascara is high-end. This is the Benefit The Real Magnet. This is so good, but the Maybelline Sky High is a pretty close dupe if you guys don't want to spend the money for this. But man, this is so good. So I'm just gonna do a second coat with this. And this is just gonna add some volume. I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. I just have to make a statement right now. I hate the left side of my face. I just realized that this is my least favorite brow, my least favorite lashes, my least favorite side profile. What do I do about that? So I kind of lied. We're almost done with the eyes. All that is left is some highlight. I have to have an inner corner highlight. And this is just my go-to product. This is the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. This one's in the shade Perfect Pearl. And it's perfect. And it's pearl. So all I do is add it on my inner corner. You don't need any more than that, but just to like solidify it, I'll just take whatever highlight. This is literally a $1 highlight from AOA. Literally whatever highlight. I just grab some and I just kind of set it so that I can forget it. So again, this is the only place I put highlight, as well as my nose. Other than that, I don't really use this anymore. Now that we're done with the eyes, let's go back to the blush. We're gonna use the second blush today, and now it's a powder blush. This is really my go-to. It's the Revlon MAUVELOUS. It's such a beautiful shade. I'm gonna use my all-time favorite blush brush, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH06. So I just like to kind of add it up here, again, to just keep elongating the face. And then I do take a little bit and put it on the nose. And then you guys know my trick. I don't like how white this looks, especially because I have a lot of hollowness right here. So I like to take the tip of the brush, the smallest amount of blush, look up and blend my blush up. Only on the outer corner. I feel like I like to leave this inner part bright. So I just kind of do that. And so it'll kind of look normal here in a little bit. But that is a second blush. We're gonna have a third one, but you're gonna have to wait for that one. Okay, so to finish out the brows, all I'm gonna use is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the shade Espresso. I have NYX brows till I die. So all I'm gonna do here is just add extra strokes wherever I see maybe like some holes, kind of like wherever it's a little bit sparse, and a little bit in the front. I make people believe that I have brow hairs. Pretty believable, right? Next, I like to set my face. So my go-to setting spray is this one. This is the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. This is a great setting mist. It's a 16-hour wear. It doesn't make your skin like matte or dewy. It just kind of sets the makeup, makes it wear all day. It's affordable and it has a really, really good mist. So now that I have set my face, it's gonna look like it's coming back to life, which is nice unless your pores are coming back to life. So in that case, we're gonna dye them down a little bit. You can use the Huda Beauty Powder again. I'm gonna go ahead and use my broken but oh so loved. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I have the shade medium, and I'm just going to set anywhere that I don't want to be shiny. This is like the cemetery of the face. This is where we keep all the life. all the life. We're gonna add one more blush. I'm sorry, this is just the way it goes. This is gonna add more dewiness and a little bit of highlight. I have been obsessed with the brand new e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blushes. My favorite two are Barbados and St. Bart's. They're really nice. Today I'm gonna use this one just because I'm feeling more of a bronzy than a berry. So I'll just put this over the blush, and again, with a liquid blush, a powder blush, and then a cream, it will just stay and it'll look beautiful because we're adding cream. So again, it's gonna bring more life back to all this powder, and because this is luminous, it's gonna add highlights. So again, I'm using that same brush from Alter Ego. You just need like an angled brush, and I'm just going to tap, and this is gonna add a tad bit more color and a natural glowy highlight. Do you see why I don't add highlight? Because this already looks so glowy and I don't want to like add a streak of highlight. So that is it. All we have left is the lips. So I have to say, I love affordable things. You guys know this, but I will say, I hate to be bougie on you guys, but I recently fell in love with a lip liner. It's Charlotte Tilbury. It's expensive. It's like $25, but man, this lasts. When it comes to lip liner, especially with my lips, I like to overline. If I'm overlining, like, it needs to last. So we're gonna be using this today. Not necessary, but definitely worth the money. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Love Trap. And because it lasts so long, I do kind of like to fill in my lips a little bit. One of my go-to lipsticks is the Morphe Tempt lipstick. This is one of my go-tos, but I will say the most long-wearing lipstick in my existence is this one. This is the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink. Love this. Literally, like I've mentioned 10,000 times, I literally wore it at my wedding and it didn't fail. So I'm using the shade Peachy, so I'm gonna put a little bit on. This is one of those products that says it's going to stay shiny all day long. I will say throughout the day, the shine goes away, but the comfortability, is that a word? Doesn't go, but it stays on all freaking day. So I'm going to let this dry, shush my tentacles, and I'll be right back. I'm back. So this is the final result. Again, if you guys ever see me on a day-to-day, kind of like on my Instagram stories, this is the look that I'm wearing. It is a mixture of high-end and drugstore. You could easily recreate this with just fully drugstore, but these are just the products that I've been loving. This makeup will last and will look beautiful till the end of the day. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you love any of these products. Let me know down in the comments, and of course, also let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!